Okay, Colin, we're going to take a look at your swim stroke from the side. The first thing I noticed when looking at your stroke is it's pretty obvious you've worked really hard on catch-up drill and swimming front quadrant. And that's definitely a really good thing compared to the alternative. However, you have taken it a bit to the extreme, so you would like to see you not have these hands touch here. Let me stop it back. So somewhere in here, while this arm is still recovering, maybe even just a little bit further, maybe right in about here, that's when you should start pulling this bottom arm. Um, you should be in a catch position right now and then start your pull rather than wait until the hands are together. Especially, this will work fairly well in a pool, but once you get into open water and it starts to get rough water, all this glide right here with no forward propulsion is going to just stop you with all the waves. So that's the reason we want to increase the cadence a little bit and not have these hands both out here at the same time. It is better than the alternative, and we'll see the alternative right here. We're going to see this here. All right, here you are. You've taken a breath. Go back here before you take your breath. Head and body in a really good position. We see the head here. You've actually already started to turn it and go back. All right, right head in a good position. Um, Body long and lean. Um, Tension, all good positions. But as you go to take that breath, notice right there, first thing that happens is the head comes up. It's turned slightly. We can see just the corner of one of your goggles, but almost the whole head has come out of the water. Now we can see both goggles and the head out of the water. And what this is going to do, anytime you lift your head, it's going to force your feet to fall, to want to drop. Your brain senses that, and it's going to do something to prevent those feet from dropping. And what we're going to see that it's going to do is this arm is going to push right down rather than wait for your recovery arm like you do on your normal stroke. When you're breathing, that arm's going to push down, and that pushing down is in an effort to prevent, see here it goes, to prevent your feet from dropping. Whereas normally that this arm here would still be straight out here. Um, it's already pushed way down here to prevent your feet from dropping. So how to correct that is not by doing more catch-up drill, but by learning to rotate that head sideways when you take a breath rather than lift the head. When you take a breath, your head should look just like this. So here's the water line right here. One goggle up out of the water. We can see the water line splits the top of your head, not with the top of your head up above the water. There's plenty of air pocket here. Your head creates this bow wake around your head, and there's a little pocket of air, plenty of place to get air here. So this is what you should look like when you take that breath. Not that. Here your head is pointed way up in the sky. Um, you've over-rotated, and if we go back even further, we can see that head lifting up out of the water. All you need to do is rotate about that far. Doing that will allow you to keep that arm out front here for a longer amount of time. So head position is number one. That will take care of several things that are happening here. The other thing is we don't want to catch up when we swim. We don't want these two hands to touch. We want to do what we call front quadrant swimming. And here's what front quadrant swimming is. If we look at your body here and we split it, draw a line about, let me come back here. Line about here, a line about here. We got four quadrants. We want one hand to always be in this front quadrant. And actually, if we come back, here's the top of the water. See how you've got both of those hands here. Go further right here. So it's been quite a while with both of those hands here. So somewhere in right around here, this hand should, the upper arm should stay here. The palm should move down. First thing, so that creates the catch. Second thing, the elbow stays high, the forearm pushes down with the palm down as well. Continue on, forearm stays, forearm goes further. This creates that over a barrel type position you may have heard of. But essentially we want to wrap our arm around this barrel, this imaginary barrel. That's called the pull. So when your recovery arm is way back here, we want to start that pull, and we start that by the catch position. And the catch bends slightly at the elbow with, wrong, bends slightly. So here's the upper arm. For the catch, that forearm goes down just slightly, and the wrist points down as well. So that's the catch. You're ready to start your pull. And then for the pull portion, we just move the forearm and the wrist downward. All that should be happening while this arm is up here, so that once this arm enters the water and fully extends underwater, about right here, this arm right here should be more down in this position. It should be front arm here. This arm should be just leaving that front quadrant. So you don't need to hold it out here this much. And as a matter of fact, in open water, this will be slowing you down significantly. So the first thing is the head lifting when you breathe. Second thing is we don't want quite so much of a catch-up. And then the third thing I see is look how flat your back stays. There's just a slight tilt here, but it's relatively flat. Now when you go to take a breath, you get rotation. But when you're not breathing, your body stays relatively flat. So we want more rotation. A great drill, or a couple of great drills to help you get that rotation, are the side kick drill and the single switch drill. And if you have questions about those, or if your team uses different names for them, Hawken can explain to you what they are. Lots of good things going on in your stroke. Your body position stays nice and high up on the water. When you're not taking a breath, the head position is great. You're definitely front quadrant swimming when you're not taking the breath, just a little too much. So keep up the good work. Work on that head position first, and then work on starting that catch and pull a little earlier. Great job, Colin.